In the heart of the Galactic Empire, far beyond the reaches of Earth, the most powerful alien species gather around a grand, glowing table. Their faces are cold, their minds sharp, but their laughter is loud. They mock humanity, the humans who live on a small, insignificant planet in the corner of the galaxy. Primitive, one alien sneers, its multifaceted eyes flashing with disdain. They're nothing more than pests, another scoffs, tapping its claws against the table in a rhythmic, almost mocking gesture. These aliens are part of the ruling class of the galaxy, beings whose technological advancements far exceed anything Earth could even dream of. They control vast empires, advanced fleets, and powerful weapons that can obliterate entire planets. They've seen the rest of the universe bend to their will. To them, humanity is an afterthought, a species so far behind the times that they believe Earth will never be able to stand up to their might. "We'll crush them easily," says a third alien, this one with sleek metallic skin and a chilling, robotic voice. The others nod in agreement, their confidence unshakable. "After all, we've already wiped out countless civilizations. What makes Earth any different?" As they continue to laugh, the camera zooms in on Earth, a blue and white orb suspended in the darkness of space. The planet's beauty contrasts sharply with the cold, calculating demeanor of the aliens. But Earth's fate is sealed. At least, that's what the aliens think. What they don't know is that humanity is far more resilient than they realize. They've underestimated the spirit of Earth's inhabitants, a spirit that will soon prove to be their greatest mistake. On a small, isolated command ship orbiting Earth, Captain Alex Bonner sits at his desk, eyes fixed on a series of glowing screens. The faint hum of the ship's engines fills the room, but Alex is lost in thought. He's a young officer, not yet fully respected by his peers, but his mind works faster than most. Alex's mind races with thoughts of the alien empire that's bearing down on Earth. The intelligence reports he's been receiving are unsettling: massive fleets, powerful weapons, and plans to invade Earth within weeks. But what scares him most isn't their technology. It's the arrogance that comes with it. They believe Earth is weak, an easy target. Then, in the quiet stillness of his command room, Alex hears something strange, a faint signal, buried deep within the radio frequencies. It's a transmission. He turns the volume up, and the words that follow make his blood run cold. "The humans, they have no idea what's coming," a voice says. "Their civilization will be wiped out. The Galactic Empire will reign supreme." Alex's heart races. These words aren't from Earth, they're coming from the aliens. And they're planning Earth's destruction. But as the transmission continues, Alex hears something that gives him hope, a brief mention of a new alien weapon designed to wipe out entire planets. It's devastatingly powerful, but it's still in the testing phase. The Empire is too confident, too careless. They're making one crucial mistake: they've underestimated humanity's ability to fight back. That's when Alex's mind clicks into place. Humanity may not have the same advanced technology as the aliens, but they have something the Empire doesn't expect: ingenuity, strategy, and the element of surprise. He remembers something he's only heard rumors about: a secret fleet of cloaked warships, built in the shadows, hidden from even the most sophisticated alien sensors. If he can find this fleet, he can use it to strike first, taking the Empire by surprise before they even know what hit them. His fingers move quickly over the controls. He contacts his team, giving them instructions. There's no time to waste. Earth's survival depends on this plan. The scene shifts to the vast emptiness of space, where the alien fleet is closing in on Earth. Thousands of ships, ranging from sleek war cruisers to massive dreadnoughts, are on a direct course toward the planet. Their engines hum with an eerie power, and their weapons are charged, ready for action. The aliens don't even bother to hide their arrogance now. They are certain of victory. But Alex's fleet is already in position, hidden in plain sight. The camera zooms in on the cloaked warships, their dark forms barely visible against the blackness of space. The cloaking technology is so advanced that even the most sophisticated alien scanners can't detect them. These ships, each one bristling with weapons and technology beyond anything Earth's enemies have seen, are humanity's secret weapon. As Alex's team prepares to launch the fleet, there's a palpable sense of tension. The crew members, once skeptical of Alex's unconventional tactics, now look to him with a new sense of trust. They know that this mission will determine the fate of humanity. They can feel the weight of history bearing down on them. But the stakes are too high to back down. In the quiet of space, the cloaked warships begin to move into formation, silently gliding toward the alien fleet. The tension is unbearable. Alex stands at the helm of his ship, his hands steady as he watches the alien fleet through his ship's sensors. The cold void of space seems to press in on them, but there's a calmness in Alex's eyes, a deep, quiet confidence that comes from knowing they hold the advantage. The human fleet is hidden, just out of the aliens' reach. The aliens still have no idea that they are about to walk straight into a trap. And as Alex watches the enemy ships grow ever closer, he can't help but feel a surge of pride. This is humanity's moment, the moment when they'll show the galaxy what they're made of. For the next few minutes, the audience is swept up in the tense anticipation of the battle that is about to unfold. The visuals are stark and captivating, contrasting the cold beauty of space with the high-tech ships of both the human and alien fleets. The camera cuts between the arrogant, unaware alien fleet, moving with heavy, calculated precision, and the sleek, shadowy forms of the cloaked human ships, which glide silently like ghosts. The aliens' ships are massive, their sleek surfaces reflecting the distant light of stars, while the human ships shimmer faintly under their cloaking shields, barely visible but full of deadly potential. The camera zooms in on the alien ships, showing their formidable weapons, their advanced AI systems, and their arrogance. There's no sense of urgency in their movements. They're so confident in their victory that they fail to notice the deadly trap waiting for them just beyond the stars. Then, the camera shifts to Alex's team. The crew moves with precision, following his commands, preparing for the strike. There's a quiet intensity in the air, and every action feels significant. The audience feels the weight of the moment, the tension building as the clock ticks down. As the alien fleet approaches, the visuals shift from dark and foreboding to sharp and bright. The moment of revelation arrives. Alex's fleet decloaks, emerging from the shadows like predators ready to strike. The shock on the alien faces is palpable, as their ships blink in confusion, trying to process the sudden appearance of humanity's secret armada. The tension reaches its peak as the camera pans across the faces of the alien officers, their smugness replaced with surprise and fear. The battle is about to begin, and it's one that will forever change the fate of humanity. The vast, endless expanse of space is filled with tension as the alien fleet approaches Earth's orbit, their massive ships creeping closer to the blue planet below. The aliens, confident in their advanced technology and their absolute superiority, are fully expecting an easy victory. Their minds are focused on one thing, obliterating Earth. They are ready to unleash their devastating weaponry, wiping out humanity once and for all. But they don't know what's waiting for them. As the alien ships come into position, the human fleet, once cloaked and hidden in the shadows of space, reveals itself in a sudden burst of energy. The camera shows the cloaked warships flickering as they decloak, their sleek forms now visible against the backdrop of the stars. For a moment, there's complete silence in the void. The aliens freeze, their eyes wide with disbelief, as they take in the sight of humanity's advanced fleet. Ships that were once invisible to them, ships they never thought would exist, now materialize in front of them. The sudden appearance of these ships is a shock to the alien commanders. Their first reaction is confusion. They had been certain that Earth was defenseless, that humanity had no way of standing up to their might. Now, their assumptions are shattered. The reality is clear. Humanity is not the weak, vulnerable species they had thought. The camera shifts to Alex Bonner, his face lit up by the glow of the battle unfolding before him. A grin of satisfaction spreads across his face, but it's not one of arrogance. It's the grin of a strategist who's been planning for this moment. His eyes gleam with determination as he watches his fleet spring into action. Humanity's first strike comes quickly, an explosion of energy, precision, and speed. The warships, their hulls cloaked in near invisibility, dart out from their positions and unleash a barrage of weapons. Laser beams and plasma projectiles streak through the blackness of space, cutting through the alien ships with deadly accuracy. Alien ships are torn apart in a burst of fiery explosions, and the camera follows the chaos, zooming in on the destruction. The alien forces are caught off guard, their defenses quickly overwhelmed by the unexpected assault. As the human warships decloak and recloak in rapid succession, they move with grace and efficiency, their highly trained crews executing the plan with pinpoint accuracy. Each ship seems to vanish and reappear in the blink of an eye, making it almost impossible for the aliens to retaliate. The human fleet moves as one, their tactics coordinated to perfection. The camera captures the beautiful chaos of space combat, streaks of light from laser fire cutting through the darkness, explosions filling the screen, and ships whizzing past each other at breakneck speeds. The battle has officially begun, and the aliens, once so certain of their victory, are now reeling from the shock of humanity's strength and ingenuity. Despite the overwhelming technological superiority of the alien fleet, humanity's strategy and wits prove to be their greatest advantage. The human fleet is smaller, less advanced in terms of raw power, but they have something the alien fleet doesn't: tactics. The aliens, though they have powerful weapons and seemingly unstoppable ships, are used to fighting wars on their own terms, with overwhelming force. They don't expect anyone to be able to outmaneuver them, to strike in ways they can't anticipate. But the humans are different. Their fleet is like a swarm of wasps, striking fast and retreating into the shadows, then returning to strike again. Their ships, though technologically inferior in some ways, are equipped with cloaking devices that allow them to turn invisible at will. The human commanders have studied the alien tactics and designed their own strategy specifically to exploit the Empire's weaknesses. The aliens fight back with sheer force, sending wave after wave of massive ships to overwhelm the humans. Their ships, larger and more powerful, bear down on the human fleet. The camera shows massive alien warships coming into view, their weapons primed and ready for destruction. But the humans aren't intimidated. Instead, they use their speed and precision to outmaneuver the alien invaders, using their cloaking technology to remain elusive and launch surprise attacks. One by one, the aliens' first line of defense is shattered. Ships explode in bright, fiery bursts as humanity's fleet continues its calculated assault. With each successful strike, the human forces gain ground, pushing back against the overwhelming alien power. The aliens are forced to regroup, their pride beginning to crack. For the first time, they realize they've underestimated the humans. Humanity is not the weak, defenseless species they thought. They are survivors, warriors, and most importantly, they are a force to be reckoned with. As the battle rages on, the humans' tactical advantage continues to grow. The alien fleet is becoming increasingly disorganized as their ships are picked off one by one. The once confident alien commanders are now scrambling to respond to the relentless, lightning-fast attacks from the human warships. Despite the human fleet's early success, the battle is far from won. The aliens, while shocked and outmaneuvered, are not easily defeated. They have vast resources, and their technology is still vastly superior to that of the humans in many ways. The human fleet's advantage lies in their strategy, but that advantage can only last so long. The alien commanders rally their forces, and soon the skies above Earth are filled with the menacing silhouettes of even more massive alien warships. The suspense heightens as the camera zooms in on Alex Bonner's face. His confidence remains, but there's a flicker of concern in his eyes. The aliens are now fighting back with everything they have. Massive ships charge forward, their weapons glowing with deadly intent. The sheer scale of the alien fleet threatens to overwhelm the human forces, and the outcome of the battle hangs in the balance. In a tense moment, the camera shows a human warship narrowly dodging a massive energy blast. The ship jerks violently as it shifts in space, the crew members gritting their teeth as the vessel barely escapes the alien strike. It's clear now, this is no longer a simple skirmish. This is an all-out war, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The fate of humanity is riding on these few moments, and the pressure is building with each passing second. The alien ships begin to coordinate their attacks, sending wave after wave of firepower toward the human fleet. The explosions are deafening, the camera capturing the sheer scale of destruction. Yet, the human ships continue to evade, shifting positions with lightning speed, striking when least expected. But as the aliens bring in reinforcements, the tide of battle begins to turn. It's clear that the humans can't keep up with the sheer numbers of the alien fleet forever. The space battles are chaotic, explosive, and breathtaking. The camera moves fluidly between the ships, capturing the intense action as it unfolds. Laser beams streak across the screen, narrowly missing their targets, while massive explosions light up the void of space in bursts of bright orange and blue. The human warships continue their evasive maneuvers, cloaking and decloaking in a blur of motion, their movements almost ghostly as they slip through the alien defenses. The camera zooms in on individual ships, capturing the tension on the faces of the human crew members. You can see the sweat on their brows, the determination in their eyes as they execute Alex's orders with precision. The control panels are flashing with alerts, but the crew members stay focused, knowing that every decision could mean the difference between life and death. In contrast, the aliens' massive ships are like dark, looming giants, slowly moving forward in a concerted effort to crush humanity. The alien fleet appears unstoppable at times, their ships heavy with power and technology. But their slow, deliberate movements play into the hands of the human fleet, whose speed and agility give them the edge. As the battle intensifies, the camera pulls back to show the grand scale of the conflict. It's no longer just a few ships exchanging fire, it's a full-scale war, and the fate of an entire planet hangs in the balance. The visuals, with their stunning explosions, rapid-fire combat, and high-tech warfare, create an epic cinematic experience that grips the audience with each passing moment. The tension is unbearable, and as the battle rages on, one thing becomes clear: humanity may be the underdog, but they're far from defeated. They're willing to fight, and they're willing to win. And for the aliens, that's the biggest mistake they could have made. Amid the overwhelming chaos of battle, the human fleet presses on, fighting for survival against the vastly superior alien forces. But the cost of war is becoming apparent. The tension in space is palpable as the battle continues to rage across the void. Human warships dart in and out of combat, cloaking and decloaking, their weapons firing in rapid succession. Yet beneath the surface of this fierce, high-stakes fight, something far more personal is happening. Captain Alex Bonner, the brilliant strategist and leader of the human fleet, stands at the helm of his ship. His face is grim, his brow furrowed as he watches the ongoing combat. But it's not just the enemy he's worried about, it's his crew, the men and women who have fought alongside him through thick and thin. These are the people he cares about, the ones he's promised to protect. Among them is Lieutenant Rachel Carson, a comrade who has been like a sister to Alex. Rachel has been by his side for years, ever since the early days of their training. Their bond is strong, built on shared battles, victories, and defeats. They understand each other without words, their connection deeper than mere friendship. They've seen each other through the darkest times, relying on each other to stay strong when everything around them seems to be falling apart. But now, in the middle of this war, their bond is about to be tested in a way neither of them could ever have imagined. As the battle intensifies, the human fleet finds itself in a desperate situation. The aliens have regrouped, and their forces are growing. The human fleet is outnumbered, and many ships are already damaged, their shields failing. Alex knows that the next few moments could determine whether humanity survives this war or becomes another casualty in the Galactic Empire's long list of conquered worlds. Rachel, always brave and willing to put herself in harm's way for the greater good, knows what must be done. She has a plan, one that could turn the tide of battle, but it comes at a great cost. She knows that she might not survive. Still, she's determined to see it through. With no hesitation, she sends a transmission to Alex. "Alex, this is it," Rachel's voice crackles over the comms. "I'm going to take them down, give the rest of the fleet a chance to break through. You promised me we'd win, right? Don't let them make a mockery of us." Alex's heart sinks as he hears the resolve in her voice. He wants to argue, to tell her to pull back, but deep down, he knows what needs to happen. They've both been trained to make the hard decisions, to do whatever it takes to ensure victory. And Rachel's sacrifice will make the difference. He can't stop her, and he knows that if he tries, it will be a dishonor to everything they've fought for. "Rachel, no." Alex shouts into the comms, his voice full of desperation. "Please, don't do this. We can still win. Stay with us." But Rachel doesn't waver. "Alex, we've come this far. Don't let them win. I'll see you on the other side." Before Alex can respond, Rachel's ship moves into position, locking onto the largest enemy warship, the one that commands the front lines of the alien fleet. In one final, brave act, she sends her ship into a collision course, aiming to take down the alien vessel and give the human fleet a chance to regroup. As she plunges into the heart of the alien fleet, the camera shifts to Alex's ship, his hands gripping the controls tightly. His eyes are filled with a mix of anguish and determination. He watches as Rachel's ship gets closer to the alien warship, a blinding flash of energy filling the screen as it explodes in a massive fireball. The shockwave rattles Alex's ship, and for a moment, everything goes silent. His heart races in his chest, and a cold, bitter rage bubbles inside him. Rachel's sacrifice is a turning point for Alex and his crew. The camera zooms in on his face as he stares into the void of space, his expression hardening with resolve. The loss of his friend, of someone who had been like family, weighs heavily on him. He's lost many comrades in this war, but Rachel's death hits him harder than he ever expected. The pain of losing her is personal, a deep ache that cuts through him. But it's also a fire, a spark that ignites something inside him. As he watches her ship disintegrate in space, the fire reflects in his eyes. The camera lingers on his face, capturing the raw emotion as he processes the loss. His jaw clenches, his fists tighten on the controls, and the expression on his face is one of both grief and fury. "Rachel," he whispers, his voice thick with emotion. "We will win. For you." Alex turns to his crew, his eyes hard but filled with purpose. They've all seen the battle up close, felt the weight of the losses, and the tension of the fight. But now, with Rachel's death, there's no turning back. They can't stop now. They owe it to her, and to every person who has fallen, to see this fight through to the end. "We don't stop," Alex says, his voice firm. "We finish this. For Rachel. For Earth. For everyone we've lost." The crew looks at each other, their faces filled with a mix of sorrow and determination. They know what they have to do, and now, they fight not only for survival but for the memory of their fallen comrades. Rachel's death is a pivotal moment in the story, one that redefines the stakes of the battle. It's not just about defeating the alien fleet anymore, it's about avenging the loss of a dear friend, a member of their family. The human fleet is no longer just fighting for their survival, they're fighting for Rachel's memory, and the memories of all the soldiers who have fallen. As the human fleet presses on, their resolve hardens. The pain of loss fuels their mission, driving them to fight harder and faster. The once uncertain humans now fight with a fire that burns bright in their hearts. They know that they can't bring Rachel back, but they can honor her sacrifice by ensuring that the aliens don't win. The emotional weight of the battle intensifies as each new wave of alien ships presses forward. Alex leads his fleet with a quiet intensity, the loss of Rachel weighing heavily on his shoulders. The camera captures moments of quiet reflection as he moves through the ship's corridors, his mind focused on the task at hand. He knows that his crew looks to him for leadership, and he can't afford to falter, not now. The emotional connection between Alex and his crew is palpable. Every decision he makes now carries the weight of Rachel's death. He knows that the human fleet's success depends not only on their military strength but on their unity, their ability to come together in the face of loss. They're no longer just soldiers, they're a family, bound together by shared pain and a common cause. The camera work shifts dramatically as Rachel's ship explodes in space. The once fast-paced action slows for a moment, the fiery explosion lingering in the frame, and the light from the blast reflects in Alex's eyes. The intensity of the moment lingers, the stark contrast between the violence of the explosion and the somber silence that follows heightening the emotional impact. As the camera shifts to Alex, his face is filled with grief and determination. The color tone of the scene shifts from the bright, high-energy visuals of space combat to darker, more muted colors, reflecting the emotional toll of the loss. The music swells with a mournful undertone, adding to the weight of the moment. The once clear battle now feels more personal, the stakes higher than ever before. As Alex leads the charge forward, the camera captures the intensity of the battle once more. But now, every explosion, every strike from the human fleet, carries a deeper meaning. The humans are no longer fighting just for survival, they're fighting for Rachel's memory, and for the legacy of everyone who has fallen. Rachel's sacrifice is a reminder that war comes with a heavy cost. But it also shows that the human spirit, no matter how broken, can never be truly defeated. The pain of loss, the emotional scars of war, fuel their drive to win. And with every strike, every victory, they move one step closer to honoring her, and everyone who has fallen. The battle had been raging for hours, and humanity's forces had been fighting valiantly, pushing the invaders back, despite being outnumbered. But as the sun dipped below the horizon of Earth, a chilling sense of foreboding filled the air. The enemy was not backing down, they were regrouping. Something far more dangerous was on the horizon. Alex Bonner, captain of the human fleet, knew the next wave would be different. It wouldn't be a simple clash of armies, it would be a fight for survival. The aliens had something new, a deadly counteroffensive that could change the course of the entire battle. The enemy fleet, bruised but not broken, regrouped. As it did, a wave of ships, sleek and deadly, emerged from behind the moon, making it clear they were ready for the next phase of the battle. The new alien warships were different, heavier, faster, and equipped with weapons designed specifically to crush human defenses. These ships were unlike anything Alex and his crew had seen before. But what made them even more terrifying were the AI-controlled war machines the aliens deployed alongside their traditional ships. These machines, programmed with devastating precision, attacked with ruthless efficiency, hunting down human ships without hesitation. Alex gritted his teeth as he watched the alien fleet form a new battle line, preparing to strike. It was clear that the aliens had just shifted the balance of power in their favor. Human forces, still reeling from the loss of so many ships, were now surrounded, and the enemy was preparing to deal the killing blow. The human fleet was outnumbered, surrounded by alien ships on every side. The feeling of dread was palpable. As the alien fleet closed in on the human forces, a deadly dogfight broke out in the vacuum of space. Human ships darted and wove between the vast, menacing forms of the alien warships, using their cloaking technology to evade detection. But despite their advanced tactics, it was clear they were struggling. The sheer numbers of the alien forces made it difficult to keep up the fight. Human ships were getting picked off one by one, their hulls blasted apart by the relentless attacks from the alien fleet. Then, the tide of the battle turned with a terrifying new force, AI-controlled war machines. These unmanned, autonomous machines were equipped with some of the deadliest weapons humanity had ever seen. They moved with deadly precision, targeting human ships with lightning-fast reflexes. The human pilots did their best to outmaneuver them, but the machines adapted to every move, learning and countering at an alarming rate. It seemed as though the human fleet had nowhere to run. Alex knew that the situation was rapidly spiraling out of control. The enemy AI machines were relentless, their weaponry precise and unforgiving. He could see his fleet being picked apart, and the few remaining ships seemed doomed to be destroyed. It was a moment of utter desperation. But even in the face of this overwhelming force, Alex refused to give up. There had to be a way to turn the tables. He quickly gathered his command staff, his mind working overtime. We've got to find a way to shut down their AI systems. If we don't, we're done for. His voice was steady, but inside, he was filled with a fierce determination. "Leave it to me, Captain," Lieutenant Rachel Carson's voice crackled over the comms. She had always been one of the most brilliant tactical minds in the fleet, and if anyone could figure out a way to outsmart the AI, it was her. As the battle raged on, Alex and his fleet put their plan into motion. They couldn't outgun the alien AI machines, but they could outsmart them. The humans began to fight dirty, using guerrilla tactics and their knowledge of alien technology to turn the tables. The alien machines were programmed with advanced algorithms, but they weren't infallible. The human fleet used their limited resources to hack into the AI-controlled systems, attempting to exploit weaknesses in the machine's code. The first step in the plan was to use cloaking technology to sneak up on the AI machines. The humans would get close to the machines, remain undetected, and then launch a surprise attack to disable their weapon systems. It was risky, but it was their only chance. With little time left, Alex ordered the fleet to engage. Human ships darted in and out of the battle, cloaking and decloaking at the most unexpected moments. As they closed in on the AI machines, they unleashed everything they had: EMP bursts, cyber warfare, and targeted hacking attempts to short-circuit the machine's systems. The machine's once precise movements began to falter, their targeting systems glitching. They couldn't keep up with the humans' unpredictable tactics. It was as if they had suddenly become disoriented, confused by the unpredictability of the human strategy. For every AI-controlled machine that fell, the humans felt a brief sense of victory. But there were still many more to fight. The space battle was a deadly game of cat and mouse, with humans and AI-controlled machines racing toward each other, each side trying to outmaneuver the other. It was a tense and heart-pounding fight, where every move could be the last. The visual storytelling in this part of the battle was nothing short of intense. The space surrounding Earth had become a chaotic battlefield, lit up by the flashes of lasers and explosions. Human ships zipped past the towering alien warships, cloaking and decloaking in quick succession, their movements calculated and precise. In contrast, the AI-controlled machines seemed to be everywhere at once, their cold, emotionless design making them seem even more menacing. As the humans launched their surprise attacks, the camera followed the action closely. We see the bright flash of EMP bursts that momentarily blind the AI machines, followed by the piercing hum of the hacking attempts. The human ships are narrowly evading incoming beams, swerving to the left or right just in time as alien weapons fire. Every close call sends a jolt of adrenaline through the audience as they watch the human ships battle for survival. The AI-controlled machines, while initially invincible, begin to malfunction. The camera zooms in on one machine as it tries to track a human ship, only to miss its target. The tension is palpable as the human crew executes their tactics flawlessly. But the enemy isn't giving up that easily. More alien reinforcements arrive, forcing the humans to fight even harder. The visuals become even more dramatic as human ships break through the line of alien defenses, using the chaos of the battle to their advantage. Human forces begin to disable more and more AI machines, but it's not without a cost. Ships continue to explode, their crews giving their all to achieve victory. The suspense builds as each new attack by the AI machines is countered, and yet more enemies continue to pour into the fray. As the battle reaches its peak, Alex's voice rings out over the comms, firm and resolute. "We're not giving up. We fight until the last ship falls, until the last enemy machine is destroyed. For humanity, for Earth, we finish this." The human fleet, battered and bruised, finally begins to gain the upper hand. The AI machines, once unrelenting and deadly, are no longer the unstoppable force they once were. The humans, with their creativity and resilience, have turned the tide. The remaining alien ships are now outnumbered, their ranks thinned by the relentless onslaught of human ingenuity and bravery. In the final moments of the battle, human ships surge forward, driving the remaining alien forces back, their weapons firing with deadly precision. The camera cuts to Alex's ship, where his face is set with grim determination. The human fleet, though battered and scarred, is still alive. They've fought through the impossible odds, and they're not going down without a fight. As the last of the alien warships are destroyed, the camera zooms out, showing the vast emptiness of space where the battle once raged. The human fleet, though diminished, stands victorious. The aliens have been repelled, at least for now. The human forces have proven that, even when faced with overwhelming odds, they will fight back with everything they have. The suspense and intensity of the battle leave the audience breathless, and as the final credits roll, they're left with a sense of hope, hope that humanity can survive, even against the most powerful and ruthless enemies. The emotional and physical toll of the war has been immense, but the human spirit remains unbroken. And that is what will carry them through to the next battle, after hours of relentless fighting, with the tide of the battle shifting back and forth between the human and alien fleets. The moment of truth had arrived. The alien forces, battered and bruised, were on the brink of total defeat. Their once dominant fleet was now scattered, many of their most powerful ships reduced to nothing more than debris floating in the void of space. Despite this, the aliens were not willing to surrender. In a last-ditch effort to turn the tide in their favor, the alien empire's flagship, the largest and most powerful vessel in their entire fleet, broke through the remnants of their forces and made a beeline for Earth. It was a behemoth, bristling with weapons, its sleek hull glowing with the energy of its advanced reactors. The flagship, an almost indestructible fortress, was their final hope. If the flagship could destroy the remaining human forces, the aliens would have a chance to regroup and reclaim their lost power. Alex Bonner, the commander of humanity's resistance, knew this would be the final stand. His fleet had fought valiantly against impossible odds, but the fight for Earth's survival was not yet over. If they could defeat the flagship, the aliens would be forced to retreat, marking humanity's first victory. But if the flagship survived, the entire planet was at risk. Alex's voice rang out over the comms, steady and resolute. "This is it. All ships, prepare for the final assault. We end this now." His words were a call to arms, uniting his crew one last time before the most dangerous battle they had ever faced. The human fleet, despite their exhaustion and the heavy losses they had suffered, surged forward, charging toward the alien flagship. The stakes were higher than ever. If they failed, the Earth and everything they fought for would be lost. As Alex's ship, the Resolute, closed in on the alien flagship, the cameras inside the cockpit captured his steely determination. The flagship's defenses were formidable, its shields flickering with bright blue energy that pulsed in rhythmic patterns. It was as if the ship itself were a living, breathing entity, ready to devour anything that dared approach. With a deep breath, Alex gave the order. Fire. His fleet unleashed everything they had, missiles, plasma beams, and every available weapon they could deploy. The flagship's shields flared, absorbing much of the assault, but the sheer force of the attack caused ripples through the energy field. The alien flagship systems, already damaged from the ongoing battle, began to falter under the pressure. Alex gripped the controls tightly, his eyes never leaving the view ahead. His ship broke through the cloud of laser beams and debris, heading straight for the heart of the flagship. The distance closed rapidly, and the crew braced for impact. "Brace yourselves!" Alex shouted, his voice cutting through the tense air. In a moment of blinding light, Alex's ship collided with the flagship's shields, bursting through in a shockwave of energy. The explosion rocked the Resolute, sending shockwaves through its hull, but Alex held fast. He had one goal now, to take the fight directly to the alien commander. The Resolute crashed into the heart of the flagship, its hull scraping along the massive vessel's exterior. Explosions erupted around them, and the crew scrambled to maintain control as Alex piloted the ship into the heart of the enemy ship's massive interior. The cameras panned across the alien ship's cold, metallic walls, showing the vast expanse of the flagship's interior, now illuminated by the chaotic firefight unfolding inside. Alex's ship skidded to a halt in the middle of the flagship, and the crew quickly suited up, preparing for hand-to-hand combat. The door of the cockpit opened, revealing the dark, menacing corridors of the alien flagship. Alex stepped out first, his breath steady, his mind focused. The alien forces inside the flagship fought back fiercely, but Alex and his crew pushed forward, clearing their way toward the command center. The stakes could not have been higher. It was a race against time. Every moment they delayed gave the alien commander more time to rally his forces and unleash destruction on Earth. The command center of the alien flagship was massive, dark, imposing, and filled with alien technology that hummed with a strange, eerie energy. As Alex and his team moved through the corridors, they encountered fierce resistance from the alien forces, but their training and sheer determination allowed them to push through. Finally, they reached the heart of the flagship, the throne room of the alien commander. The alien leader stood tall and imposing, his armored figure exuding an air of cold authority. The commander's eyes glowed with a fierce, predatory light, and he stared down at Alex with a mixture of disbelief and contempt. He was the embodiment of the alien empire's might, a being who had destroyed countless worlds. But now, facing humanity's last hope, his arrogance began to fade. "You're too late," the alien commander sneered. "Your kind was never meant to survive. You are nothing compared to us." Alex stood tall, his heart pounding in his chest. This was the moment, the culmination of everything he had fought for. "We'll see about that," he said, his voice cold with determination. The two combatants squared off in the heart of the command center, the alien's voice mocking Alex with every word. The battle was brutal. Alex and the commander clashed with weapons and raw strength. Each strike, each move, was filled with the weight of their respective species' futures. Alex's muscles ached as he faced the alien commander's deadly blows. But he fought with everything he had, driven by the memory of Rachel, the crew members they had lost, and the thousands of lives that depended on the outcome of this battle. Every hit he landed on the commander was a tribute to those who had fallen in this war. Finally, in a flash of movement, Alex managed to land a powerful blow, disarming the alien commander. The commander staggered back, clearly shaken for the first time in their encounter. It was now or never. The camera cuts back and forth between Alex's focused face and the alien commander's shocked expression as their final battle unfolds. Sparks fly, energy blasts light up the room, and the walls tremble from the sheer force of the combat. The tension is palpable as the two clash, their movements a blur of speed and power. The alien commander's movements are swift and deadly, but Alex's will to survive and protect humanity fuels his every move. The final moments are drawn out in slow motion, each second feeling like an eternity. The camera zooms in on Alex's determined expression as he brings his blade down, landing the decisive blow. The alien commander stumbles backward, clutching his chest, before collapsing to the ground in a heap. In that instant, a tremendous explosion rocks the flagship as Alex delivers the final blow. The entire vessel shakes, and the walls buckle under the pressure. The camera pulls back, showing the final moments of the flagship's destruction. Bright flashes of energy and debris erupt in every direction as the flagship begins to disintegrate. As the flagship crumbles and the alien commander falls, Alex stands over him, breathing heavily, the weight of the battle and its losses crashing down on him. For a moment, everything is still. He thinks of Rachel, her sacrifice, her bravery, and the cost of this war. Every victory, every moment of triumph, had come with a price. The faces of fallen comrades flash before Alex's eyes as he stands amidst the wreckage of the alien flagship. "Rachel," he whispers, his voice hoarse. "This one's for you." The human fleet watches as the alien flagship is destroyed in a massive explosion, the camera pulling back to reveal the Earth below, bathed in the glow of the final victory. Humanity has won, but the cost has been immense. The victory is bittersweet. The war is over, but the emotional toll is clear. Alex knows that this victory came at a great cost, but it's a victory nonetheless. The human spirit has triumphed against all odds. As the alien forces retreat into the vastness of space, humanity's victory is secure. Alex and his crew have earned their place in history. The battle for Earth is over, but the cost of war will linger long after the last ship has left the skies. The camera pans over the peaceful Earth, now free from alien oppression, and the credits begin to roll, leaving the audience with a sense of bittersweet triumph. The war is won, but the scars of battle remain. The battle for Earth had finally come to an end. The once mighty alien fleet had been defeated, their forces scattered and broken. Their attempt to conquer humanity had failed, and the remnants of their warships limped away, retreating into the vastness of space. The humans, battered and bruised, had survived, against all odds. Their victory was not just a military achievement, it was a testament to humanity's resilience, determination, and unyielding spirit. For months, Earth had been under siege. Cities had been reduced to rubble, and the skies had been filled with the thunderous sounds of alien warships clashing with human defenses. But now, Earth stood victorious. The war was over, and the human race had proven itself capable of taking on an advanced, relentless alien empire, and winning. Yet, this victory had come at a tremendous cost. The scars of war were evident everywhere. Ruined cities, destroyed landscapes, and the loss of countless lives would take years, if not decades, to heal. The human race was not just rebuilding homes and infrastructure, it was also rebuilding its soul, grappling with the heavy emotional toll that the war had left behind. The alien forces had underestimated humanity. They saw humans as primitive, weak, and unworthy of being taken seriously. But in the face of unimaginable odds, humanity had risen up, not just to defend its home, but to prove that they would never bow to oppression. Earth had won the war, and the galaxy would never look at humanity the same way again. The human spirit, unbroken and defiant, had won a hard-fought battle. But the road ahead would be long, and there was much to rebuild. The scene shifts to a memorial site, a place where the surviving crew members of Alex's fleet have gathered to honor their fallen comrades. The once bustling base on Earth now stands quiet, with only the sound of the wind rustling through the trees. A towering monument has been erected in the center of the memorial, a solemn tribute to the heroes who sacrificed everything for humanity's survival. At the base of the monument, Alex Bonner stands with his crew. His face is worn and tired, yet resolute, as he stares at the names inscribed on the monument, names of soldiers, friends, and family who gave their lives in the fight for Earth. Among them, Rachel's name stands out. Her death had been a turning point in the war, and her memory weighs heavily on Alex's heart. The monument, with its solemn presence, stands as a reminder of the high price that had been paid. Alex places his hand on the cool stone surface, his fingers lightly tracing the letters of Rachel's name. He stands there for a moment, lost in thought, remembering the moments they had shared, the laughter, the camaraderie, and the promises they had made. Rachel had believed in humanity's survival to the very end, and now Alex was left with the responsibility of honoring that belief. The rest of the surviving crew members stand in silence, their faces somber as they pay their respects. Some stand with their heads bowed, others with their hands clasped, lost in their own thoughts. The gravity of their loss is palpable, every face tells a story of struggle, sacrifice, and survival. Alex finally speaks, his voice thick with emotion. "We did it," he says, his words slow but steady. "We won. We didn't just fight for ourselves. We fought for the future of Earth, and for all the people we lost along the way. He turns to face the crew, his expression firm, yet filled with a quiet sadness. Rachel's sacrifice, and the sacrifices of so many others, will never be forgotten. We will rebuild, and we will make sure this never happens again. I promise you, Earth will be protected. We will honor their memories by ensuring their fight wasn't in vain. A soft wind blows through the memorial, as if nature itself is acknowledging the weight of Alex's words. The camera lingers on the faces of the crew members, each of them carrying the weight of the past and the hope of the future. The monument stands tall in the background, a symbol of the enduring human spirit. The camera pans over the Earth, which now looks peaceful from space. The once scorched surface is beginning to heal. Green patches of land are reappearing where once there had been charred remnants of battle. Cities that had been reduced to rubble are slowly being rebuilt, their foundations stronger than before. The skies, once filled with the ominous shadows of alien warships, are now clear and bright, a symbol of humanity's triumph. As the camera zooms in on the surface, we see the bustling activity of people rebuilding their homes, their cities, their lives. New technologies, developed during the war, are now being used to restore the planet, bringing hope to a wounded world. People work together, united in their efforts to rebuild what was lost, knowing that the future is uncertain but hopeful. The camera shifts to a scene of Alex standing atop a hill, looking out over the vast horizon. The sun sets in the distance, casting a warm, golden glow across the landscape. His face is calm, but there is a flicker of something deeper in his eyes, a quiet reflection of the journey that brought him here. Behind him, his crew is hard at work, contributing to the rebuilding effort in their own ways. There is a sense of community, of unity, that wasn't there before. Humanity had been tested, and now it was stronger for it. Alex's voice breaks the silence as he reflects on the events that have led them to this moment. The war is over, he says softly, his voice steady but filled with a bittersweet resolve. But this is just the beginning. We've proven we can stand against anything that comes our way. And now, we rebuild, not just our world, but our place in the galaxy. The camera pulls back slowly, revealing Earth in all its beauty. The vibrant blues and greens of the planet stand in stark contrast to the darkness of space beyond. It is a planet that has known suffering, but now it knows hope. The final words echo over the scene, as if they are a rallying cry for humanity's future. We are the last hope for a future free from tyranny. The words linger in the air as the camera continues to pull away, offering one last view of Earth, safe, yet forever changed. The music swells, uplifting yet tinged with melancholy, as the credits begin to roll. Humanity's victory was not just a triumph of technology, but of spirit. The war was over, but the cost had been high. Yet, in the ashes of war, humanity had found a new purpose, a new beginning. The galaxy would look at humanity differently now, not as a weak, primitive race, but as a force to be reckoned with. And though the scars of war would never fade completely, humanity had proven that they would rise again, no matter the odds. As the credits continue to roll, the message is clear: humanity had triumphed. And the future, though uncertain, was now in their hands. The hope for peace, for a brighter tomorrow, would carry humanity forward into the new era. The battle was won, but the journey was far from over.